A little closer. Oh, dear. Now, how much of any are they seeing?
From your knees to your face.
That's great. Can you read this?
Yes.
All right. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
And what is the date today?
20th.
Today is Sunday, the 20th of November. And for us, we're about 4 days away from paying our products cost at GoDaddy.com to continue all this fun and frivolity and to further your education. And if you've gotten over to pharaohschariots.com, you've seen an introduction video that's sitting on YouTube. The playback quality of stuff and pages and all of printed data type stuff that we upload to GoDaddy, it is not appearing as we'd like. It's not as professional as a presentation as we would like to have. And the fun of putting stuff discussing money on YouTube is can't have money, can't have a commercial business on YouTube. And we've engaged Facebook, both for myself, Mr. Wright, and for the pending LLC, pharaohschariots.com, and we'll see what videos and stuff again have uploaded there. But this one's like in between the introduction and all these other videos that are already up as widgets on the website, and other stuff that's coming. Other stuff that's coming, gee, that sounds good. Well, if we're going to show you to where we don't make you buy something or purchase something or motivate you through fear. Hey, lady, you need some shock absorbers. You're going to have a bad accident. No, we ain't going to do that shit. You can go get that at Mark C. Bloom. I always thought it was funny because it's B-L-O-O-M-E, so it's Mark Kabloomy, you know. And who is the other guy? 4-Day Tires. They sell tires. They sell shocks. They sell batteries. When I was doing automotive service, what I wouldn't do is fix your car. We'd stop it before it broke. And you can do all of this with prevention, proper lubricants and stuff. The van that we drive around has at least 6 different lubricants, oil pan to the engine, and a little bit different mix of the 6 in the transmission. And we're way over 100,000 miles over there. The thing runs great, doesn't do anything stupid, and just runs and runs and runs and runs and runs. And we started making our own automatic trans fluid back in 1985, about the year my only son was born. And we began charging for it about 1986. And took a guy's Mustang, a 65, 66 Mustang, 289, 2-barrel, with a C4 automatic, and when you start it up right away, you'd feel it like nudge. Like you change the shift lever and kind of go, and that was it. And we just changed the fluid, and all of a sudden that thing pulled away from the curb burning rubber in 3 forward gears and reverse. And the guy was astounded. And it took my wife and myself, I don't know, 4 or 5 trips, 65 miles one way with his check. And that ate all that up. You know, he's this great big check guy. Got one of those checkbooks with statements before and after, tears it out of a book and writes me a check, and the money wasn't there. The way it finally was. So I guess we ate $200 worth of lunch on a $65 check or whatever we charged that guy. But after that, we just went forward with it. But that's what's going on with the van. It's real hard to charge somebody for stuff that stops stuff from breaking. You know, take this and you'll never have a heart attack. I want $500 for it once. Everybody's like, well, what if I never have a heart attack? Well, then it worked, huh? But you can't, people aren't like that. They need to have their life in threat. They need to be running for their ass. Their balls need to be on fire, and their tits are going to get cut off, or you sons of bitches don't spend any fucking money for your own ass. And that's how Joyce Riley goes forward. You want to be pretty. You want to be healthy. Good luck. Satan's coming to this world. There, was that a good fear play? Look, we're going to be entertaining. We're going to be something that's going to sit here by the commitment of our faith in an unseen God. But we can see him move because the trees, leaves blow. And wind moves leaves, and we're getting a little wind now. Might interfere with the sound on this. We're going to produce about a 5, maybe a 6-part video in sections. We're going to try and have it on one of our pages to where you can go to that separately, showing you a carburetor, how that works. Put gas in it and show you how it flows out, run air through it. Show you how a throttle body works. Individual port injectors, and we're trying to get a hold of a nebulizer, because that was the last fine carburetor design that was purchased, and then was turned into a health fluids medications dispenser for your lungs. real fine atomizers, real fine mist. There's been a few in between, but we're going to demonstrate the big stuff. And then we'll demonstrate gasified gasoline. And you will be able to see the quality of the fuel droplet size coming, and the quality of the burn, and the puddle of stuff. You take a carburetor full of gas and shake it, gasoline just pours out. And it works. It used to work. I don't know if you want to call this a team or a confederation or a community, but as individuals, we must make a decision. And we're not going to sit here and talk about the $5 deal. That's in that introduction video. We're not going to get any more serious about it than that if you can't figure that out. But we are going to discuss the science. We're going to put some other fun videos on there like we've already had. Hey, blue-haired grandmas is pretty cool. These are slices of life out of my life. I had a business partner on this project. In about 1988, he was killed in his own house by his bodyguard. And I still feel responsible for it. Barry was involved with death equipment for Hughes, and I was taught foreign governments how to use death equipment. And Barry quit working for me. He was a $160,000 a year guy after taxes back in the 80s. And we were supposed to give him 2% of gross sales, but then he didn't see that, so he quit Hughes. And we found each other and went from there. And I'd known him when he was working at Hughes. He used to smuggle parts into Hughes to get them 24-karat gold-plated and then smuggle them the hell back out and then put them on his motorcycle. So while you're making the Hubble telescope really a photon light cannon, it's a weapon system, duh. There ain't nothing they put in space that ain't a killing platform. I did a transmission for a guy that worked on the International Space Station. That was built in California at Long Beach at the Naval Weapons Shipyard. In fact, that was the last thing he said to me, was about the guarantee on my work for him. And he says, any other questions? And I said, no. He says, I work at the Long Beach Naval Weapons Shipyard, Long Beach Naval Weapons Station. And I'm like, yeah. And he says, and then he turned away, and I tried to follow him, and I forgot I had to go through a gate. There's a guy at the gate, and he says, and I turned around and saw my friend. And as soon as the gate guard's hand went up, my friend turned around, and he nodded. Because he knows who I used to work for, what I used to do. Everybody made weapons, distributed weapons, taught people how to use them or something. Well, that's an old subject. And you might say, well, that's a small amount of money we're asking for. How is this going to work? Because we aren't 1,000 people sucking blood. We aren't a project that's going to take 5 years to do. And really, I did the count. Our 47th year didn't begin last July. It probably was our 46th. But the 47, I like prime numbers. So maybe we're off a year. But when you're counting 40 or 50 years with it, so this is when this began. Was around July of 1966. So this is nothing new to me. And going back over this is kind of like going to be remembering things. And remembering the people I've buried. Buried a business partner, buried a son, buried 3 wives, buried a mom, a dad. I mean, you'd start naming them, dude. Everybody I've ever worked for that employed me, and it'd say, well, you don't show any work experience, but you're the only guy that ever answered all the questions on my test and got them right. Those days are kind of gone. And if you got time for football, then you got time for that. Remember, there's another little video coming we're going to put up. It's called All About Money. And we finally found out that a gold coin, a $20 gold piece, is right about 80 thousandths thick. I think Sean showed me a book. And in it was 0.0798.
0.07874.
Yeah, so pretty close to 0.080. And that works out to 330 feet. If you take the gold coins and stack them up and then lay them down, you get 330 feet. So from a goal line to the other goal line to the goal post is 330 feet. That was 50,000 gold coins. That was $1 million. And now, with $2,000 gold, they say, it isn't 2,000. It's headed for 3, 6, and 10. See, because when gold went from $200 an ounce, well, it went from $20 an ounce to $200, made your dollar a dime. When it went from 200 to 2,000, made your dollar a penny, the Federal Reserve note. Well, there ain't much life in a penny. So when this thing goes from $2,000 to $4,000, well, gosh, the big change has already happened. The dollar already went under a dime. So as you start these miserly bastards selling gold, they're going, wah, wah, wah. But that ain't going to do it. It won't be the bullets. So let's say you got 100,000 rounds of ammo, 1,000 $20 gold coins, 10,000 silver dollars, 5 years of reliable stored food, what do they call it, freeze-dried, whatever, and, and maybe some recording. When are you going to sleep? Because the bottom line with this whole thing is there's a guy that owns this chessboard we're all walking around on, and it's his. And surely there is an end. And when he decides to pick it up, scrape the pieces, and throw them in a box, that's it! How you've lived your life here matters. That's all there is. How you've shit on your friend. How you've patted him on the head. How does it go? Let's see. It's the Lord's Prayer. Bullshit! He said, you pray like this, because he didn't pray like that. He prayed differently. He prayed day and night. I don't think the guy ever slept. Did he need to? Wasn't he God? No, he was the Son of the Father. Because they all had separate names. How do we know? Well, because the Holy Spirit came out of heaven and descended on him when John the Baptist baptized him. Do you believe that book? Do you open up a phone book, look up restaurants, look up Pizza Hut, dial it, and it says Joe Seed and Feed? With the kind of faith you look to find a pizza restaurant, start looking at scriptures. Sean made a little misstatement in a typed-up comment on his Facebook page of Hosea chapter 3, verse 16. It's Hosea chapter 2, verse 16. And it says, quit calling me Lord. Call me Lord no more. So you can say God, Yahweh, whatever, but you can't disagree with quit calling me Baal and start calling me Ishi, my husband. So, this is the little next video, and we'll try and stack it up and get this thing hacked up in a reasonable amount of time. It'll be sitting on YouTube, and it will be the second one in line. We'll have to take the one that's there now, because as soon as we upload this one, the one that's on top goes underneath, so Sean's got to delete this and do that. Kid's doing a great job. But I won't kill anymore. I haven't done that for years. I won't make the weapons. I won't teach how to use them, and I'm not interested in death, because that's all I can do. I can't give life. And a woman don't give life. She's just an oven. The guy puts the recipe in, the woman cooks the damn thing, and they let it out. Maybe upon the face of the world. And if I hadn't had my neck and back broken several times and been dead, yeah, I'd have probably been worse than Hitler. Adolf Hitler was a pussy. Genghis Khan was a wimp. Help someone like me who really is motivated to serve the Most High God, Yahweh, for your good. And instead of thinking about that $5, think about the $5 your gasoline's going to. Because right now in my town, gas is like $3.08.9 a gallon. Isn't that funny? 3.0089. Ah, come on! It's $3, you know. And they're not measuring a gallon that tight, but they're sure measuring the shekel that tight, huh? Make the ephah small and the shekel great? Yeah. Well, that's if you're selling. Now, if you're buying, you want the shekel small and the ephah great. See how it goes? Positions of power. But most people want something from you. They're going to scare you. I don't want to scare you. Oil. Crude oil is over $100, or it's right there. And it was under 90 for a while, but it's going up. And as soon as Obama is elected, the same thing as when George Bush got elected the last time, the 50 cents that was off the $2.58 or whatever gas was went down to $1.95 or $2.14 just before Bush got elected. Watch the same damn thing happen with this election. Because you guys are going to vote for Obama. No, I didn't. That's right. Don't do what I did. Don't make the mistake. When I turned 18, I registered to vote and joined the draft. And I voted for Nixon because he was going to end the war. Well, he didn't. I've never served under a United Nations commander. I won't. I swore an oath to protect all of you. But don't make the mistake I did. And what was that mistake? To vote. It doesn't count. Who's made the voting machines? They're all scammed and voted. My business partner, Barry, that was killed in his own home by the bodyguard, he says, you want some fun? Go where your parents poll. Right? Go where they vote. And then watch the sheriff car, and then follow them when they got the ballot boxes, and don't follow too close. I'm like, what do you mean? Don't follow too close, Crazy George, he'd say. Why Crazy George? Because Curly had no hair. I didn't name myself. People name you. When you don't fit in with the world, what do we do? We're putting together a little document. It's going to be real pretty. It's the document that shows you're a participant in this Americans Liberty Energy Research Team. But the videos that are already on the website, well, there's none on the website except through a widget, a little tool by GoDaddy in our products that allow us to take stuff that's uploaded on YouTube and have it at the website. But basically, we're going to upload this one, and then this stuff, these demonstrations of carburetors, throttle bodies, fuel injectors, the nebulizer, and then gasified gasoline. The difference is when we start at the top, you're going to see this big globs of gasoline pouring out and hitting the ground, and we'll turn the other thing on and go, what? Because you don't see it. Gas-fired gasoline looks just like natural gas. Anybody's ever seen natural gas, raise your hand. You notice I didn't move either one of mine. You can't see it. Well, please have a really great Sunday. And thank you for being patient with us. And there's friends all over these Facebook pages, but we're looking to be friends with all of you in a real meaningful way, more than a pat on the back or a kiss on the neck, more than a turkey at Thanksgiving past the candied yams. I sure like those green beans with the slivered almonds. That's a pagan holiday, the day that it happens. There's big evolution, convolution, revolution, what do they call those? Oh yeah, convention happening in Las Vegas, Nevada around May 1st. And there'll come $60 million from your taxpayer money to fund the Democrats, and $60 million from your public tax money to fund the Democrats get $60 million, Republicans get $60 million a year tax money. Ain't that great? Like they need it. Can't they fund themselves? Ron Paul's funding himself, but he ain't going nowhere. This is all known. We got a lot of stuff coming on here. It's going to tell you your nation was founded by Satanists. And I'll offer you this one thought. If all men are created equal by their Heavenly Father, then why do we need to specify certain rules and regulations? First Amendment, Second Amendment. No. You already said I was made. Now you're going to say you're going to enumerate? And as soon as you put it up, you can take it down. Every right that is sitting on a Bill of Rights shall be taken from you and stabbed into your heart. George Washington was a Rosicrucian, a member of the Illuminati. We're going to show you all this stuff. And it went on from him. He sat on a chair. Was the sun rising or setting, George? You got asked at one time. Rising, he said, I'd like to think. We've got a photo of him sitting in full 33-degree Mason regalia. The neck chain, the big rectangular square with 33 in the apron. That's the fig leaf. So when you look at that pyramid with the eye, you know what that is? That's a man bent over and another man working his ass. That's all that is. Oh, it's the gleaming... Oh, don't give me this crap. Don't sit behind the facade anymore. Screw the curtain the man of Oz is sitting behind. Light it a fire. Get rid of it. Quit standing still. Turn around and look behind you. And if we're behind you, we'll help you keep it from falling down. But I can't twist your arm. I won't twist your arm. I've helped kill enough people. I've done a bad boy. But my guys came home. Because they were sons and daughters to your friends. But now we're doing this. Now you might say, well, gee, an electric car would be a whole lot more practical. Yeah, only with our electric car, because the new Chevy, what do they call it, Volt? 42,000, but is that with the $8,000 we've all paid for some rich guy to get a car that only runs for 35 miles without running the engine? Come on. How about an electric car that doesn't need to charge the batteries because they're always charging going down the road? See, the thing with these propeller things, these wind generators, you think that shaft's got to turn to have electricity. Nope. Nothing needs to move. Nothing. No rotating shaft is necessary. That's part of it. And if we're going to do something outside really on a huge process, we'd like to use gravity to run this. Because gravity's always there. 24 hours a day, same rate of speed, and a whole lot more powerful than wind. You tried jumping lately? Seen anything floating around? You say, well, wind can blow a car on. Yeah, that's true at 200 miles an hour. But you'll see these propeller-driven wind generators chained at about 22 miles an hour. Goes past 30, they lock the blade. They lock it down. Everything you see is a scam. Everything you can get your hands on is a lie, except for your other hand, and maybe that one's giving you the finger, because I'm not going to. Because I don't know about you, but my finger will come off my hand, so I can't give it. And who am I to judge? My Bible says I should judge, but judge in righteousness. Proverbs 31, from 11 to the end. Proverbs 31, verse 1 to 10, teaches a son how to pick a wife. Wife for a king. And then it teaches a woman how to be a queen. Oh, her candle doesn't go out at night. She feeds her staff, her maids in waiting, and people that teach her children. She has her food prepared before the sun rises. Just like Mary Magdalene went the first day of the week before the sun rose. What day is it before the sun rises? Why, it's the day before. So if she went on Sunday, the first day of the week, while it was yet dark, It must have been the end of the Sabbath. So they buried him on Wednesday, middle of the week festival, for the mature males to go to the temple. So from Wednesday to Thursday is one day, Jonah, 3 days and nights in the belly of the whale. From Thursday to Friday is the second day, 24 hours. From Friday to Saturday is the third day, and they went there while it was yet dark. But the greatest sign we have is the folded napkin, the face towel that was folded up and sitting on the end of the stone where he was laid. This is all described in the scriptures. I was sitting down having a dinner with a kid where this word Ishi came up. And he's from Israel and came to Mesa Land here to go to rodeo school. And he said, well, you know that thing, for me, the thing that made me become a Christian, and here's a straight-up Jew boy saying this, was the face towel laid at the end of the table where he was buried on the slab. He was laying there. And I said, why is that? He goes, when the phone or ring at the door would answer, you know, and we're sitting down to dinner, my dad would take his napkin and lay it at the end of the table and then go to the door. So for the Jew, that was a sign. He's coming to all of us. And that's what we're trying to do. Do we come at you with, you want gasoline? Do we come at you that this is a green thing? Do we come at you that we're looking at more than an 800% fuel increase, 30 miles a gallon, goes to 240 miles a gallon? On a full-size Cadillac? Yeah, 120 and up. That's unbelievable. Well, start believing. You're going to get shown this. Bet me I'm wrong. Show me I'm wrong. 47 years? Okay, 46 and a half. When did it happen? Why did it happen? Let's see what else. Well, if we can do that with gasoline and take double, triple the fuel economy, quintuple, octuple, and all the lies are in there. What's November mean? Isn't October 8? But October is the 10th month, and Novem is 9. December, Decem is 10, but we call it 12. And Sean and I go way out. There was Caesar, Julius Caesar, July, and Caesar Augustus, August. So those two guys crammed something in. And the calendar used to be a mess. You'd have 15-day months and 45-day months, depending on who was in the vomitorium at the time. On the back of a dollar, you have Novus Ordo Seclorum. Let's have a look at the word seclorum. It's two words. The word lorum stands by itself. The word sec, two. Not secular. That's the biggest wad in the ass they ever try to hand anybody. Lorum, a leather collar, a leather strap, a little piece of leather that a Roman mother would put down her child's throat to cause vomiting. I thought of the Marines, the flying leathernecks. But it's two at the reins. Two. Seclorum. Two with leather. I thought of two fags in bondage, you know. Two homosexuals. Look at the caduceus, the winged penis outside the doctor's office with the snakes wrapped around it. There it is. There's your government symbol. There's the emblem. Figure it out. Like I said, we got a few more videos coming at you. And we're going to educate you. And you can jump on and jump off where you want to. We're looking to befriend midnight truckers. And, let's see. Oath keepers. Guys were vets and then became cops. I hope we've made an impact. And I hope this will cause you to be a little bit patient. Because until we can get a quality of a playback of a video on the website where we can talk about money all we want, that introduction video is all you're going to see, talking about bucks. I turned down a grant for $465,000 back in let's see, it just come back to town. God, I can't recall the year. 15 years ago anyway. And it was coming from like SBIRT, Small Business Investment Technology Research, over at the college here in Mesa Lands. And I turned the grant down because as soon as I got the money, that was like signing for it. As soon as you got it, but you didn't get it. First you got half, and then you got like a third and a third, something like that. Maybe you got half and then a quarter and a quarter. But they didn't have to pay all of it. But the school, they wanted their pound of flesh up front. Well, you're going to catch $500,000, we want $50,000 up front. And I'm like, well, that guy ain't there anymore. Dr. Philip O'Berry, because he lied to me and robbed me. You don't go robbing Yahweh's kids and not get the piss spanked out of you. So I'm not worried about Sean. I've been spared from death a number of times. Died, lived again. Hello. held people in my arms dying, some lived, some died. These are real things that happen. You don't believe me? Go listen to somebody else. And try and stay away from the wizards that mutter and peep. Because as soon as I would have accepted that money, 14% of that project was owned by foreign governments. And Jerry Doyle over there at, let's see, what's it, jerrydoyle.com. Comes out of Las Vegas. It's off of Tropicana Avenue. It is, well, he's got a home studio too. He's got a cool mom out in Jersey. She's about the age of my mom. Maybe my mom's a year or two older. But Jerry says, wow, when they sold off the Chevrolet stock back there in the early part of summer, why did like 14% of it was unavailable and went to China? There's your reason, Jerry. I've tried to get a letter to you, boy, but you got everybody around you guarding you like you're king shit Farouk. Go bite my ass. Hell, anybody dying, Jerry, except on TV? Bite me! If you want to be famous, go save somebody's life. And you won't be a hero, because you didn't do anything. He's not dead. Maybe you will be in somebody's eyes. You pick up the high school yearbooks for all the guys in New York, because they either went and became cops or firemen, and then start reading the obituaries. You could do it if you took the time, and it'd be a hell of a lot harder than shipping us a few bucks and start seeing who ain't around anymore, because your sweet Georgie Bush, George W., killed him! This whole thing's a farce. Man, when I heard World War II started for nothing, heard an old man say that, way up in his 80s, early 90s. He said World War II was fought for nothing. This all started, Albert Pike. 3 world wars, a civil war. They just had a civil war and they're planning on 3 world wars? Are you kidding me? No, I'm not. We're going to present this to you. Hopefully we can be nice enough about this and glorify the Illuminati, the globalists, the Satanists, the Luciferians, because they know they're the winner, see? They think they're the winner. I guarantee you, some fool puts his boot on my neck. I'm going to eat the shoe off his foot, eat his leg off up to his ass, shit him in the gutter, and get up and walk the fuck away. Have some courage. Don't have a latte today. Do something courageous. Be tremendous. Oh, he said a dirty word. Really? I thought death without the Savior was the dirtiest word I know. See, did that make you run for the soap bar? Have a great day. Mom, I miss you and love you. Yahweh bless you all. Keep an eye open. We'll have something up here at least once a week. We're shooting for twice. Probably a little bit after Thanksgiving. Be sure and excuse yourself from the table if you have to burp, unless you're sitting in some Arab's house, and be sure to burp and fart. Praise the cook. Amen.